Fantasy literature has captured the imagination of readers for generations. From epic adventures to mind-bending magic systems, these 15 authors have shaped the genre in powerful ways. Let's dive in and explore the writers who changed fantasy forever. We begin with the man widely known as the father of modern fantasy, J.R.R. Tolkien. His legendary works, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, set the standard for epic fantasy. Tolkien's meticulous world-building, complete with detailed maps, constructed languages, and rich mythological roots, created a fully immersive universe. His stories of good versus evil, heroism, and friendship have influenced countless writers and remain a cornerstone of fantasy today. Did you know that Tolkien created his first language, Nafarin, as a child, and went on to develop entire Elvish languages like Quenya and Sindarin for Middle-earth? His dedication to language shaped the depth and authenticity of his legendary world. Next is J.R.R. Martin, author of A Song of Ice and Fire, famously adapted into Game of Thrones. Martin transformed fantasy by introducing political intrigue, moral ambiguity, and shocking plot twists, including the death of major characters. His brutal realism and complex character arcs redefined the genre, proving that no hero or villain is truly safe. Did you know Martin was inspired by the War of the Roses, a 15th century English civil war, to create the political conflicts in A Song of Ice and Fire? This historical influence shaped the brutal realism and power struggles that define his world. Number 3 is Ursula K. Le Guin. She revolutionized fantasy with her Earthsea series. Drawing from Taoist philosophy, her stories explored themes of balance, power, and identity. Le Guin's deep, introspective narratives challenged traditional fantasy tropes, focusing not on battles, but on the power of names, language, and self-awareness. Did you know Le Guin coined the term Ansible, a device for instantaneous interstellar communication, which was later adopted by other sci-fi writers like Orson Scott Card? Her visionary ideas continue to influence science fiction and fantasy alike. Number 4 is Robert Jordan. Jordan's Wheel of Time series is a testament to the scale and depth that fantasy can achieve. With its sprawling world, complex magic system, and a massive cast of characters, Jordan's work blends prophecy, politics, and mythology into one of the most ambitious fantasy epics ever written. Did you know Jordan served in the Vietnam War, and his experiences influenced the military strategies and battles in the Wheel of Time? This real-world influence added authenticity to his war-torn world. Number 5 is Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson is known for his innovative rule-based magic systems in works like Mistborn and the Stormlight Archive. Sanderson's approach brings scientific precision to magic, making his worlds feel logical, yet still full of wonder. His creation of the Cosmere, a shared universe across multiple series, has captivated readers and influenced modern fantasy writers. Did you know Sanderson wrote 13 novels before getting his first book published, showcasing his dedication to honing his craft? His perseverance now serves as an inspiration to aspiring writers everywhere. Number 6 is George MacDonald. Often considered one of the earliest fantasy authors, MacDonald's works like The Princess and the Goblin laid the groundwork for modern fantasy. His fairy tale-inspired narratives combined moral lessons with magical adventures, influencing authors such as Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. Did you know MacDonald was a minister, and his religious beliefs deeply influenced the moral and spiritual themes in his fantasy works? His blend of faith and fantasy continues to resonate with readers today. Number 7 is C.S. Lewis. Lewis introduced generations of readers to the world of Narnia. Through the Chronicles of Narnia, Lewis blended Christian allegory with fantasy adventure, creating a timeless series filled with magic, talking animals, and courageous heroes. His work helped popularize portal fantasy, where characters cross between worlds, a staple in modern fantasy storytelling. Did you know Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien were close friends and members of the literary discussion group called the Inklings, where they shared and critiqued each other's works? Their friendship helped shape two of the most influential fantasy worlds ever created. Number 8 is Robin Hobb. Hobb's Realm of the Elderling series is renowned for its emotional depth and unforgettable characters. Unlike traditional hero narratives, Hobb's stories focus on personal struggles and his relationships and the burden of responsibility, adding a powerful layer of realism to her fantasy worlds. Did you know Robin Hobb is a pen name? Her real name is Margaret Astrid Lindholm Ogden, and she also writes under the name Megan Lindholm. Her ability to write under multiple identities has allowed her to craft diverse and memorable stories. Number 9 is N.K. Jemisin. Jemisin's Broken Earth trilogy broke new ground in fantasy. With themes of systemic oppression, environmental catastrophe, and resilience, Jemisin's powerful narratives challenged traditional fantasy norms. Her trailblazing work earned her 3 consecutive Hugo Awards, a historic achievement. Did you know Jemisin is the first author to win the Hugo Award for Best Novel 3 years in a row, all for books in the Broken Earth trilogy? Her groundbreaking work continues to inspire and challenge the fantasy genre. Number 10 is Marion Zimmer Bradley. Bradley's The Mists of Avalon reimagines Arthurian legend through the eyes of its female characters. By focusing on themes of power, gender, and spirituality, Bradley reshaped fantasy storytelling and brought new depth to mythological retellings. Did you know Bradley was a pioneer in feminist science fiction and fantasy, and she also edited the Sword and Sorceress anthology series, which showcased female protagonists in fantasy? Her influence expanded opportunities for female voices in the genre. Number 11 is Michael Moorcock. Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné series turned traditional fantasy tropes upside down. With a doomed anti-hero protagonist and chaotic worlds linked by the multiverse, Moorcock challenged Tolkien's ideals of heroic quests and noble characters, paving the way for darker fantasy themes. Did you know Moorcock wrote the Elric series in just 6 weeks, often composing entire chapters in a single sitting? His fast-paced writing style brought energy and intensity to his chaotic narratives. Number 12 is Robert E. Howard. Howard's Conan the Barbarian introduced readers to the fast-paced, action-packed world of sword and sorcery. His muscular heroes, ancient evils, and thrilling adventures became the blueprint for pulpy, action-driven fantasy stories. Did you know Howard was a close friend of H.P. Lovecraft, who is known for his horror fiction and weird science fantasy works? The two often exchanged letters discussing their respective works, influencing each other's writing styles. This creative exchange helped shape the horror and fantasy genres alike. Number 13 is Terry Pratchett. Pratchett's Discworld series brought humor, satire, and social commentary into the fantasy genre. By blending absurdity with deep insights into politics, culture, and human nature, Pratchett proved that fantasy could be both entertaining and thought-provoking. Did you know Pratchett built his own observatory in his garden and was an avid amateur astronomer, often incorporating celestial themes into his stories? This cosmic curiosity added depth to his imaginative worlds. Number 14 is J.K. Rowling. With Harry Potter, Rowling transformed fantasy into a global phenomenon. Her magical world of Hogwarts introduced countless young readers to the genre, inspiring new generations of writers. Rowling's success helped normalize YA fantasy and prove that magical stories can capture hearts worldwide. Did you know Rowling wrote the first Harry Potter book while living on welfare, often drafting chapters in cafes while her baby daughter slept nearby? Her determination turned her magical world into a cultural phenomenon. And finally, number 15 is Neil Gaiman. Gaiman's works, such as American Gods and The Sandman, blend mythology, folklore, and modern themes into captivating narratives. His storytelling is imaginative, yet deeply grounded in human experiences, making him one of the most influential fantasy authors of modern times. Did you know Gaiman and Terry Pratchett were close friends and co-authored the novel Good Omens, which seamlessly combined their unique writing styles? Their collaboration remains a beloved classic in fantasy literature. These 15 authors have shaped fantasy in remarkable ways, from Tolkien's epic worlds to Jemisin's groundbreaking themes. Which author has inspired your writing or sparked your imagination? Let us know in the comments below. That's all from us today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more lessons and ideas. See you next time.